My name is Gucci Galore. Well, we're gonna have some Kid Rock, bit of Johnny Cash. Kid Rock rocks. Alright, oh look
This
at
was
that.
just part of an experiment. Put some pictures up online, got some good feedback, and decided there was something in it. I'm Robin Grasby, founder of Alt Rock. We make
Oh, fuck. Alright, I'm going to talk to you about drugs. Now, you might be 15, you might be 10, you might be 16, you might be 21, you might be 38, you might be 27. But, it's 2020, so, you know, the lolly shop's open, basically, from when you're 16 up. It can be even younger. Okay, so we got cocaine, we got DMT, we got ecstasy, we got heroin, we got ice, we got crack cocaine, we've got LSD, we've got magic mushrooms, we've got what's the cactus one? We've got cactus juice. Yeah, we've got a lot of drugs out there, and crocodile, another one. But, okay, we'll start with cocaine. Now, cocaine's a nice drug, but getting the purity is the hard part, because in Australia, a lot of the dealers cut their coke, so it's hard to get good coke. But you'll be paying about $300 a gram, and it doesn't last long, the high, so that's why you dig into it all the time. And $300 a gram, it doesn't last long. Like, you can knock a gram in a night, no worries, but it's a nasty habit to get. It's very addictive and very expensive, so yeah, don't dabble in it, but don't become a cokehead. Okay, next one's marijuana. Now, I smoke pot, and with marijuana, you can't really go wrong. You can't overdose on marijuana, but you can turn into a pothead if you smoke 24/7 like I do. So, yes, marijuana's not a bad drug. It's actually a good high, and makes you very artistic and get the munchies. But okay, next drug is ice, methamphetamine. Now, I was an ice addict for 8 years. I've been clean for 4. It's a nasty drug, man. It's so fucking good, that's why it's so addictive. But after 8 years, your teeth are fucked, and you're covered in sores, you haven't slept properly for years, and you don't eat anything. So it just eats your soul, man, and your bank account. You'll be paying about $80 for a pint of ice, and you smoke it through a pipe, or you inject it. So you can try and snort it. Okay, the next one's heroin, my favourite. Now, I was a heroin addict. I used to stick needles in my arm, and yeah, the heroin's a nice drug. Yeah, when you're on it, you don't give a fuck about anything. That's why That's why I liked it so much. I didn't have my PTSD when I took heroin. But nasty drug, very addictive, and a real fucker to come off when you're trying to get off heroin. Now, the next substitute from heroin is morphine, because when you inject heroin into your veins, it turns into morphine anyway. And heroin and morphine come from the poppy plant, the opium poppy. And morphine's just as addictive as heroin. And you can take it in the form of a tablet, maybe an 80 milligram Oxycontin, and you'll be fucked for a day. It's like having a jab of heroin. Okay, the next drug is DMT. I don't know what it stands for, but it's made in your brain by your pineal gland. It makes DMT and you start having visions. My mind's made it twice, but you can make the DMT from the acacia tree, which is growing all around the world. And then you smoke it and you see visions. Okay, the next one is magic mushrooms. Now, with the magic mushrooms, you got to know what you're doing and what mushrooms to pick. You've got gold tops and blue meanies, so be aware because you're dealing with strychnine. That's what poisons your nervous system and trips you out. So yeah, magic mushrooms, they're good fun, but be careful because sometimes you won't come back from a trip and you'll be tripping the rest of your life. So that's the only danger. Same with LSD or trips. Yeah, it basically poisons your nervous system and you trip out, and it's a real blowout. I used to take it in me teenage years, and I've had magic mushrooms about 5 times. Then there's the peyote, the cactus peyote. Now you boil that up into a slop. It tastes like drinking snot, but you meant to drink as much till you spew, and then you've had enough, and then you have your shamanic trip. Another one is painkillers. Now they're addictive as well. Like, I'll go out of my way to look for Panadine Forte, drop 4 of them and I relax. So yeah, be aware of painkillers because they're addictive. But chocolate's addictive, Coca-Cola's addictive, my sleeping tablets are addictive. There's so many things to get addicted to, but my main advice is stay away from the ice, stay away from the heroin and the morphine, stick to your pot and have a beer, because alcohol is another dangerous form of drug and very addictive, and a lot of people are alcoholics. But if you just have a couple of beers and a joint, then you'll be right in life. You won't be drug fucked up like I was 4 years ago. Here's the deal. Once you give up the drugs, every day you hang out for a hit, man. Every day the drugs come knocking, and yeah, they go, give me the good shit, Sean. And I'm like, no, I can't, I've given it up. But it's just a lolly shop, and as a teenager, about 16, 17, the lolly shop opens up for you. So it's a garden path, and you got to work your way down the garden path and stay away from certain drugs. That doesn't mean don't have fun with it, but just be aware of the addiction that drugs can give you and how they can fuck up your life. Because they fucked my life up, not that I have any regrets. But I'm glad I'm off the ice and the heroin and just smoke a bit of pot and have a six-pack twice a week. Then I'm not out of control and yeah. But watch the pot, because that you can get addicted to that mentally and become a bit of a pothead. But yeah, this is Normie. Hopefully this gets out to the youth, the younger people in the world, about drugs, coming from a 50-year-old PTSD veteran who abused drugs because of his condition. And yeah, the emotions that come with the drugs and the PTSD. And yeah, how I've got a clear review now being 50 years old. And I don't regret anything, but just be aware of drugs. Now, this is my personal little debut to you if you're a young person and about to go to the lolly shop. And yeah, just be aware, it's a garden path. Yeah, so
can you imagine what it's like to starve to death? And as we set free and well, another soldier has to yell, tell my wife and children I love him in his last breath. Come on now, amen,
amen, amen.
Habitual offenders, scumbag lawyers with agendas. I tell you, sometimes people, I don't know what's worse. Natural disasters, or these wolves in sheep-clothed pastors. Now, goddamn it, I'm scared to send my children to church. And how can we seek salvation when our nation's race relations got me feeling guilty
for being white?
But faith in human nature,
all right, all you young drug people, be aware of drugs and listen to Kid Rock, because he rocks.